I'm at Oak Flat, south of Tijeras in New Mexico, just to the east of Albuquerque. Anyway, I've been coming here for a number of years, just getting to know the area, and it's a pretty area, and we're basically in the pinyon juniper woodland, just kind of where it begins to gradually grade into ponderosa pine forest, and it's fairly open woodland. It's been burned a couple times, controlled burns, and there's been thinnings, I guess, by the Forest Service. This is actually part of the Albuquerque open space area, so it gets quite a bit of use by cyclists and hikers, and there's a campground and picnic area not far from here. So one of the things that I've really noticed in the last couple of years is how the pine trees have basically dropped all their cones. If you look up at these pines here, there's virtually not a cone on the trees. And if you look at the ground is absolutely littered with pine cones all over the place. So last year we had a pretty bad drought. Once again, the summer rains were mediocre, and a lot of the pines, or virtually all of them, dropped their pine cones either a little bit early or right when they would normally do it in late August. And as a result, there's virtually no pine cones left in the trees for mammals and birds to feed on, and the seeds would be now on the ground. And of course, those animals and birds that feed on the surface of the ground would probably have pretty good access to pine seeds for their nutrition. But on the other hand, those that feed in the trees aren't going to have much of anything. Sorry, I have a barking dog here. Anyway, it's pretty much standard in this area. There are virtually no pine cones. We're at the end of June, and so my prediction is we ain't going to see any this year. Many of these trees are somewhat alternate bearing anyway. You know, every other year, every couple of years, you have a good pine pine seed crop. But this year, it's going to be a very disappointing year. Now, there may be microclimates where you do have pines that are doing well, that aren't stressed and haven't dropped all their seeds, and it's possibly the bird fauna primarily is in those areas nesting and feeding now. But this area is really just been hit hard by the pine cone drop last year, and I've seen hardly any birds. I saw a couple flickers a while ago, and some towhees and juncos, but that's kind of it. Very few birds. Okay, well, that's kind of it. That's what I want to talk about here. We're going to go to the other side of the canyon. That's north facing. I doubt it's any different, but if it is, I'm going to make another video. Signing out from Oak Flat area in New Mexico.